Hey, what's up mortals? It's Kane here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the history of Eldia from Attack on Titan. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. The world of Attack on Titan has changed from a simple kingdom sealed within its walls to protect itself from titans to a gigantic world beyond the comprehension of the residents inside the walls. After overtaking the Shiganshina district in Wall Maria, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin finally went inside the basement underneath Eren's house and learned the truth about the world. Eren's father, Grisha Jaeger, had a series of books where he wrote all the secrets of the world. They learned that Eren and all of humanity were Eldians who lived on a small island called Paradis Island. The enemies that attacked Wall Marlia many years ago were the Marlians from the country of Marley. Since ancient times, the people of Eldia have existed as a primitive tribe. They would raid other opposing tribes and make them their slaves. 2,000 years ago, a slave girl by the name of Ymir was able to gain the power of the Titans. At that time, the ruler of the Eldian tribe used Ymir's newfound powers to declare war against enemy nations. Eventually, the Eldian leader took Ymir and mothered his children in the Fritz family. 13 years later, after Ymir Fritz died, her three daughters, Maria, Rose, and Sheena, inherited her Titan powers after they ate her deceased body. Her divine powers would spread from generation to generation to the point where there were 9 Titans. With their Titan powers, the subjects of Ymir established the Eldian Empire. The Eldians used the Titans as weapons of destruction to conquer other nations and wiped out countless cultures. The country of Marley was also the victim of the Eldian Empire, where they would invade their cities. The invaded cities became known as the Fall of Lago, the devastation of Mont, and the ravaging of Valle. Most of the Marlians that were present in Lago were caught by Titans, and none survived. In the year 2040, there was a worldwide epidemic that wiped out most of humanity. For the subjects of Ymir to survive, the king of Eldia used the power of the founding Titan to alter the biology of the Eldians and become immune to the disease. Eventually, the Eldians made allies with the Hisaru, but ran out of enemies to conquer. They started fighting amongst each other and divided themselves into 9 houses. Each house inherited the 9 Titans' powers, leaving the founding Titan to the Fritz family, who controlled the whole Eldian Empire. 1,700 years passed, and the founding Titan was owned by King Karl Fritz. He believed that Eldia's sins could not be atoned, and believed that Eldians and Titans should not have existed in the first place. The king pitied the Marlians and decided to devise a plan alongside the Tiber family, which were the Warhammer Titan Keepers, to end the Eldian rule. The first thing that the king did was to abandon all internal conflict with Eldia, and without the founding Titan's power to maintain order, the Eldian Empire collapsed. During the Great Titan War, the king and the Tiber family presented a fictitious hero called Helos, who would join the Tiber family to defeat the king. Eventually, the Tiber family, along with the other Eldian nobles, fought to restore Marley. They were able to succeed, and Marley gained 7 of the 9 Titans. As a result, the king moved the capital to Paradis Island, Eldia's last remaining territory. He gathered as many Eldians as he could and he moved to the island. On Paradis Island, Karl Fritz, who became the first Reis king, used the founding Titan to erase the subjects of Ymir's memories of all the events that happened during the Great Titan War as well as all of their history. Afterward, the king used the founding Titan powers once more to create colossal Titans and form 3 concentric walls around their territory. These walls became Maria, Rose, and Sheena, named after the first Eldian king's daughters. For 100 years, the subjects of Ymir lived in peace, unaware of their history and the world beyond the walls. Besides the subjects of Ymir, other Eldian races also lived within Paradis Island. However, these unique Eldian bloodlines interfered with King Fritz's plan to achieve perfect peace. Their memories weren't affected by the founding Titan, so Fritz demanded these clans to remain silent about the history of the world beyond the walls with the promise that he would give them nobility. However, the Asian and the Ackerman clan objected to Fritz's proposal and rebelled against their king. Since the clans didn't want to comply with Fritz, he ordered both clans to be exterminated. The remaining Asian and Ackerman that survived the purge fled the kingdom and went into hiding in places such as the underground or the isolated wilderness. Meanwhile, on the mainland, the Eldians who did not flee to Paradis Island were conquered by Marley. Marley spared the Eldians that were found and they became second-class citizens. Marley did not hesitate to use their new influence and change history to make the Eldians responsible for betraying Marley. They claimed that the Marlians were the ones that conquered all the other neighboring countries, as well as lying that Ymir Fritz had gained her power from the devil. They also lied to the Eldians and told them that the Eldians that escaped to Paradis Island were considered traitors to the mainland. Eventually, the Marlians forced the Eldians to live within intermittent zones separated from the Marley population and were considered inferior. They were also required by law to wear a yellow armband that would identify them as Eldians at all times. However, some Eldians kept their royal status in Marley, such as the Tiber family, since they helped the Marleyans during the war. They also had the right not to wear any armbands and were considered normal Marley citizens. On some occasions, Eldians would be permitted to exit the intermittent zone with special permits distributed by the public security authorities. Not only were the Eldians segregated, but they were also used as soldiers to fight for Marley. Many young Eldians strived to join the warrior program to become honorary Marleyans and not be treated as second-class citizens. The young Eldians were also potential candidates to inherit the power of the Titans under Marley's control. Warriors that had inherited one of the Titans would wear a red armband, and their status was changed as honorary Marleyans, including their families. Some organizations wanted to protect the rights of Eldians. However, many Marleyans believed that they were delusional and no one would take them seriously. A spokesperson from one of these organizations believed that only the subjects of Ymir outside of Paradise Island deserved compassion, since they were all victims of the Eldian Empire's artificial breeding. Any Eldian that was accused of wrongdoings or questioned Marley were all sent to Paradise Island, where the Marleys would inject a serum into the Eldians and, in doing so, would transform them into Titans, making them wander the island for all eternity. Despite their horrible demise, there were some Eldians that wanted to resist and restore Eldia. There were a few remaining members of the Fritz family on the mainland, and they led a revolutionary army against Marley. Unfortunately, the Marley military crushed the army, and its members were executed. Throughout the years, the Eldians on Paradise Island founded a three-branch military where each branch served a purpose. The garrison safeguarded and reinforced the three walls. The Survey Corps ventured outside the walls into Titan territory so they could eliminate and research them. And finally, the military police brigade established control and order over the citizens of the walls. Some of the young Eldians wanted to enlist in the military to have a carefree life without worrying about the wandering Titans that the Marleyans would send to their island. They would be satisfied if they could either be part of the garrison or the military police, since the Survey Corps went outside the walls. However, some Eldians were curious about what lay beyond the walls and did not hesitate to join the Survey Corps. However, many civilians considered the act of leaving the wall foolish. Most of the military's firearms were based on the flintlock mechanism, in which a piece of flint ignited the gunpowder and fired the gun. They mostly came in muskets, pistols, buckshot rifles, hand cannons, and flintlock sniper rifles. However, most of the weapons used against the Titans were ineffective, and they couldn't improve their weapons since they weren't allowed to do so by the government. To ensure that the Eldians within the walls would never be able to explore the island without authorization, the royal government placed restrictions on technological progress that could be achieved by the craftsmen and engineers of Eldia. Those who broke the regulation would be targeted by the 1st Interior Squad, the elite force within the military police. Due to this restricted progress, Paradise Island would fall behind on technological progress as the decades passed. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.